Now, being a young Chad like me, obviously I don't have all the answers in the world, and that's fine. But I just have to ask this one question. Like, why is this generation so sad? We can have a multitude of reasons why anyone can be sad, whether it be financial problems, breakups, relationships with our parents, a boyfriend, girlfriend, anybody. Sometimes it can be jealousy, envy, or being in a spot where not a lot of people was fortunate to get out. So that's when I started to ask those questions. For some reason, there's starting to be an incline when it comes to 2003, when it comes to depression, especially when it comes to this generation. Everybody wants something, whether it be validation from other people, love. Everybody wants things fast, which is the reason why we have fast food, because it's convenient, it's right there for us. And there's nothing wrong with that because it's obviously just being part of human. Oftentimes enough, we just want to bite off more than we can chew, and then it just kind of leaves this dissatisfying taste in our mouth. Like, oh man, this wasn't good enough. Or you finally get that thing, and you kind of realize that it wasn't how you expected. Now, as far as 2020, yeah, it was very tragic, and I still feel like the effects of COVID 19 still has some sort of effects on today's society. Everything now is digital. You don't really necessarily have to leave the comfort of your own home anymore. People are stopped going to movie theaters anymore. Everything is on streaming platforms. Our friend groups are starting to dwindle off less and less. People are kind of doing their own things like lone wolves or something. Dating apps are starting to become more and more popular, and then as soon as you go out into the social life, it's extremely hard to communicate with people now. Times are changing, and you really have to ask yourself, is it for the better or is it for the worse? It can really be easy, super extremely easy to be comfortable within your own sadness. And oftentimes I even do it sometimes, just listen to the same music that just kind of puts me in this place. Um, Sometimes, yeah, it can be helpful to know that everybody else is going through the same thing that you're doing. But sometimes you just want to be happy. It's just simple as that. You just want to be happy sometimes. That's kind of the reason why I choose to isolate myself at times, and the reason why I didn't went out last night is because, not no number one, I was tired, but often than not, you just don't want to be that apple that spoils the bunch. You know, you don't. Why would you want to bring your downness onto somebody else, right? And make them feel down. You don't want to do that. There's times where I do have to be at a place like this, just be out here alone, just be secluded with my own thoughts. And people think that loneliness is this taboo thing. No, it's not. Sometimes you really just have to take a break from people, especially when you're an introvert like me. You just kind of reflect off of everything. The internet can just be very, very, very exhausting at times. I remember I was on the internet straight, just not really taking a break off of things. And for some reason, I was just in this bad mood. There were so many things in that one entire day that I want to get done, like making a video, or doing auditions, and doing music and stuff. And then I just look at the people that I look up to, other musicians, other actors, other YouTubers. And then for some reason I just got so upset. Sometimes it's hard to admit that, especially when you're working hard for something and let's say for example, you want to be a musician and you've been working for 2 years and then someone that you know have been doing it for no longer than 3 months and then all of a sudden they are getting a whole bunch of streams and stuff like that. Sometimes it can be very discouraging and it can be a slap in the face. But hey, that's just life. That's kind of what everyone does, where we just look at everything that is going great in other people's lives, you know? Especially when you're on the internet, you just kind of see one side of somebody. You may think that they're tearing it up, they're freaking like doing it all when in actuality they're kind of in the same situation as you. You know, they're still struggling, they're still grinding, and you just kind of see the results, basically. Nevertheless, you just gotta be in a place where you just at your happiest, or at least has some sort of peace, you know? Which is where I'm at right now, in the mountains, just looking at the scenery, or you have some sort of smile on your face, talk to your friends, you know, talk to a therapist, coworker, anybody, and yeah,